Hey guys. Okay, so we're down to almost the final stage of single stage loading. And of course, you remember I told you in the earlier videos that I went ahead and set the 45 ACPs aside. So I had to get rid of these 40 cals that were on my bench. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I've got all these. You guys got to watch me clean these, prime these, clean them. Expand the neck, and remember that I've shot these before. They're all a consistent length, so I didn't have to trim. Well, I take it back. I trimmed about 5 of them because when they went into the press, I felt that they were a little long, so I just had to trim a few. So where we're at now is we're putting the bullet on. We're making this a complete case. I probably won't do a crimp video because it's just it's a tedious. Anyway, you have to adjust the die to just barely crimp the edge of that case that you flared. So what you want to do is when you're crimping your brass, just go down. Most of my dies are taper crimps, so you want to go down till the die touches the brass case, and then roll the die forward just a little bit, just enough to squeeze down this outer edge. You don't want to change the dimension of the case or anything like that. You just want to touch it, and that takes a little finesse. And if you're new to reloading, maybe you want to have somebody just sit with you the first time and show you. So we're going to get on with this part. This is the best part. This is the funnest part because you're coming to the end of this long. Well, it's a road trip really that you've taken to clean your brass, to decap and resize your brass, and in my case, I clean my brass again and again to get to this point. Now, I also skipped the part of filling the cases up with powder because, again, that's kind of just one of those things that you probably need to learn on your own. Most of your powder dies, or excuse me, most of your powder chargers come with a little funnel on the end. You can use that. Keep your scale. The last video was on the scale and the setting up of the powder charge on top of my RCBS press right here. So anyway, let's move on. So what I've got here is I've got 180 grain XTPs that I'm putting on this 40 caliber right here. And remember, before I get everybody yelling at me, I can't feel my left hand. So this is, remember I told you in some of the earlier videos, I had a stroke, so I can't feel my left hand. This is kind of therapy for me. So if I can get that bullet to sit on there correctly, which I just did with my left hand, that's the therapy part for me. So you set your bullet on there, get it as straight as you possibly can. If it's a tiny bit crooked, it's okay. The die will take care of the rest of it. But set it on there as straight as you can. If you can get it on there perfectly straight, more power to you, buddy. That's one of the reasons I'm moving on to a progressive press, because there's some caveats involved in the progressive press that I just can't achieve here on this press. So anyway, once you get it set on top, go ahead and raise your ram, and you're going to feel some pressure. You don't have to slam it, okay? Just when you feel it touch, be firm, but you don't have to slam it. If you slam it, you're going to get inaccurate measurements, okay? So just push it down till it stops. You're on a full run of the ram, okay? Pull it back out, and these are just the first few. So my measurement that I'm looking for this particular setup is 1 and 125. So let's see if I can. I can't really turn my. Hang on just a second. So anyway, there you go. Let's see if you can read that. Up again. So there it is. 125. So I played with this for a few minutes before I cut the video on. The very first one I did is not 1 and 125, which is 1 and 1/8. It's a little over. It's like 1.127, 1.265. And the reason I went ahead and left it at that is because I did what you call a soft set first, which means I just pushed the bullet in the case a little bit at a time, until I got down to my correct measurement. When you do that, sometimes that last measurement that you take on that is not really the right one. So I'm going to do another one. So take that, put your shell, your loaded case that's primed and fully charged. Take your bullet. I look like a round nose for a second. Place your bullet right on top of your case. It takes me a little longer, so bear with me. So you can see how straight that is. You want it as straight as possible. Now, it might be canted a little bit, but that's okay. So let's watch it go up in the ram. So it goes up in the ram, and somewhere in here, the die kind of straightens the bullet out. So if it's a touch off, it's okay. Then I want to give it a push, pull it back down, and then I should have a seated die that's the correct length. Now, when you get into rifle, cartridges and things like that, you're going to be measuring from the ogive, which is a little bit different. That's a little more advanced than just pistol. These straight wall cases and these automatic cases. So that one's a fuzz over. Probably didn't do it as firm as I needed to, but I think that's going to work. It's 1,000 out. So that's it for this video, guys. Like I said before, if you ever have any questions or anything, give me a just hit me up on YouTube. Feel free to ask me any questions. I don't mind constructive criticism. Just keep the hating part out. God bless you, and have a good week. Don't forget to share and like my videos, okay?